Hey there. So this is gonna be a weird deck profile. Some of the facts you need to know about this deck is that this is like a remake of a old version of a Harpie deck I built years ago. I've been playing Harpie since 2009 or 2010. I did a deck profile on this deck on the Harpie deck like years ago as well. It's like one of the first video I ever did, and at the time I was running Mist Valleys, and then with the Hidden Arsenal, the chapter 1 was released like a few months ago. I thought like it was perfect timing to do the remake of like rebuild the Harpie deck I did years ago with the Mist Valley and remake it, and this I'm add the new cards like Perfumer and Chandler. Chandler came out like I think around 2012, and around the time I think I was also running Chandler, but then around the time I was starting to take out like Mist Valley Falcon and Shaman for like more hobby cards like Perfumer, not Perfumer, Chandler. Then eventually, Dancer, and then like the rest, you know. So yeah, the reason I'm building this, like I said, is because the Hidden Arsenal came out, and I thought like, why not I go back to my roots and build a Mist Valley, and it'll be like not really a Mist Valley, it's like somewhat Mist Valley because I had cards at the time. So yeah, and also so you know, before I start, I will have an EMV uploading around the same time as this video goes up live. The EMV is about my Falata or my Kuchaku. And the reason I'm making the EMV for her and this deck profile is so I can like I said, go back to my roots. And my first deck I ever built was the Harpies, and that was before there was Chandler, Perfumer, and such. So let's start with the 3 cards I used to run, which was 3 Harpie Lady 1, 2 Queens. I was running 2. I used to run 3 Falcons, but right now I'm running 2 Falcons, and a Shaman, a Soldier, my 4 Vince Valleys, and I was running 2 Vince Valley Shaman. The Soldier and the Shaman are my tuners, and this was like a single deck at the time. But I wasn't running like the Avian Apex, was it Avian Apex Avian, the one monster that we bounce a card back from the deck to the field to the hand to negate a card. I wasn't running that card at the time because I didn't find it useful until later. But then like I still don't own the copy of it. But yeah, at the time I wasn't running Avian or the 3-star monster, but I was running these Minstrelies, and eventually I did upgrade it to Chandler. And sorry for the mix up of the sensor, because I run this in my spare cards of my Harpies. I have 3 other Harpie deck. One is a Harpie girl, one is focused on a dragon, and one focused on a sister. So I have 3 other Harpie deck, and this is my 4th one. So I'm running my spare extras I have like laying around. So yeah, so that's why the rarity is like different. Anyways, so Dancer came out. I think that the reason why the 1 card Divine Wind, it got limited to 1 because of Dancer, and eventually Avian as well. Sorry about the check. 3 Perfumer and a Harpist. So Perfumer and Harpist are like the more recent stuff. I'm not running Oracle because I'm not running Sister or anything high level except for the Cyber Slash. For the spells, I used to run Divine Wind, Mist Valley, and Happy Underground. I used to run 3 in the multiple. I don't remember how many copies I was running Divine Wind, because eventually when I started to use it, it got limited to 1. So next I'm running True Swollenness. So you know what it does is that it can tribute a level 4 or lower. I think tribute a wing piece from your deck and special summon a same wing piece. No, it can tribute a wing piece you control, special summon a wing piece from your deck with the same level. So this is like to go through my deck. There's some cards like you could go through, like you could tribute like a Falcon or Soldier. to get Chandler or Chandler or a Perfumer from your deck to get the Harpie combo, or you could you could tribute like a Summon Dancer, or actually I forgot a combo. Actually, it's been a while since I used the deck because I built this deck like a few months ago, not few, like a couple weeks ago, but never like a month, like probably a month ago or so. But never did up the deck profile because I was too busy doing things. But yeah, I actually forgot the combos. So I'm running 3 Historic Signs. You know, the like staple of the Harpies was Egatis. So this are mostly of the cards I used to run with when Chandler came out. Egatis always been there. There's a few other cards I want to mention that like give it some like hold on. I continue with this. There's a few cards I also mentioned like before I wrap this video up that I want to give a shout out to. Not a shout out, like honorable mention or something. But yeah. Anyway, these are the other cards I run. I think Must Reborn, I can't remember if it was limited or banned at the time. It was weird. Dancer and then Fed Duster and Featheress are brand new. Or the Duster was unlimited. Not unlimited, limited. The one after like just recently, like a couple of months ago, like over a year, like I think a year ago now. Anyway, so next Ring Requido, which is the new like staple. I think it's the new staple for Harpies. And for traps, I'm running 2 Historic Party. I used to run 3, but right now not enough space to run 2. And 2 Mirror Walls. Mirror Wall is a staple of mine. I know it's not that good right now because of couple stuff, but it comes in handy and when you play casual. It's fun playing casual. Oh, I forgot to mention this. This deck is meant to be casual and nothing competitive. So yeah. Next, Happy Feather Storm. Happy Feather Storm to negate stuff and is like a staple in Harpies. Anyway, so that's the traps. Now for the extra monster. The extra monster are mostly just cards that most of them are new. Sorry about the shake. So I'm running 2 Happy Conductor, 2 Cyber Slash, and a Miss Valley, forgot his name. Miss Valley Thunderlord. Thunderlord is not like, I know Avian's better than him, but at the time I was running him instead of like those monsters, like the other Miss Valleys, and I was running him with in this deck, and I thought like because I'm going to my roots, why keep him. While going back from my roots, I was also running Stardust and Red Dragon Archfiend at the time. These are like my comments in my rare, super rare. But anyways, well, I would say at the time there were like those, I guess, staple, if I remember correctly, but then I could be wrong. And sorry about that. And Black Rose Dragon and the Clear Wing Fast Dragon. The Clear Wing is a new card similar to this, but just using it level 7. Using level 7 because HFA Dragon at the time I was running is bad. Next is 2 Happy Pet Phantasmal Dragon. I actually run 3 at a time, but because the cards are limited, not limited, I have not a space, so I'm running other cards, so I'm running Lani Chidori and Seraphine. This card came out years ago as well, around the time Chandler came out and such. So I'm running these at the time, and I kept them in, and I still use them nowadays. Utopia is something old, but more recent. I started to use more often because of Utopia the Lightning. I don't have the other one, or I do have double, but the double I don't use that spell. But yeah, Utopia Lightning and Utopia. So that's the main deck and the extra deck. There's just a few things I want to mention. I'm not sure if I briefly mentioned this or not. I think I got distracted. Is that this deck is meant to be casual, nothing competitive. This is meant to be more for like I said, like duels or plays or games where you're just playing against friends or like just a family member or something. Nothing nothing like competitive, nothing like for vision or nothing. It's just also like I said, I wanted to go to back to my roots and yeah, showcase some of the deck. Um and there's few other cards I want to mention, like give like highlights too that I used to run. Like I want to go back to my roots, so I want to mention the cards I used to run, like Harpie Brother, Gen X Ally Birdman. I'm not running him right now because I want to keep more wing piece in my deck. So yeah, Birdface was the earliest card I used to run along with Brother. Mostly Birdface was the main card, my searcher, because there was no Chandler, there was no Perfumer to get your sister, not your lady, lady. Like Akimi was also my searcher. Can destroy, special summon a Birdface or what I call it, a Happy Lady or like a Birdface or something. Risa, cause I was running. Risa came in handy because there were not a lot of Harpie cards at the time, so I had to fill up the space, along with Slate Warrior and Moving Char. Slate Warrior just because I was running a build where attack and like attack power makes a difference. I'll get two more cards into it right now in a bit. But Moving Char was a card I used to run a lot. It was like my staple back then as well, but nowadays it's bad because of hand traps and such. And Moving Char was pretty good. And my choose spell, my only choose spell that I want to give honorable mention is Inferno Relic Summon and Phallic Spike. Inferno Relic Summon is that when you special summon a level 4 Lord monster, I think level 4 Lord or how do you 1500 attack? 1500 attack or less. 1500 attack or less when you special summon a monster like that, and your opponent control a special summon monster, you get target that monster and special summon any copies from your deck, hand, or graveyard. So there was Happy Lady and Happy Queen at the time, then eventually Chandler. You could special summon like at least 6 copies or more at the time, or later 9 copies, then eventually now there's a lot. Harpie Ladies and Phallic Spike. Equip into a monster you control and gains 800 or 900 attack for each copy in your graveyard. And because Harpie Ladies, like Harpie cards, consider themselves as Harpie Ladies in the graveyard and on the field. So equivalent this to Happy Lady, those increase the attack by a lot. So I used to run a beatdown mostly with this deck, with the old Harpies, I mean. And some traps were like, from my removal cards were at the time was a Phoenix Wind Blast, Switcher Art Wind Miyabi, Phallic Spike, Wire Tornado. Wire Tornado, what it does is that when it you can destroy a face up spell and trap card you put in control. I think face up a spell trap you put on a face up spell and trap card, spell or trap card on the field. So I can destroy my own historic sign with this card. And also when this card is destroyed as the set was set, you get to destroy a face up monster on the field. So it was like a good removal card at the time I was running. This was one of my main removal monsters along with this 4 cards, 3 other cards I mean. 4 with this one. Aqua Course, what it does is that for each copy of the same monster you have, if you have control a monster with the same copy name on the field, those monsters gain 500 attack. I think you only get 500 attack for yeah, only increased it by 500. It doesn't like stack or nothing. Unless you have another Aqua Course, but that's another thing. So I used to run Aqua Course because of the Happy Chandlers, Happy Queen, Happy Lady, and then eventually Chandler. And like I said, most of everything came eventually. Chandler came out. Magical Hat mostly became important in Chandler when Chandler came out because his Direct Sign came out as well. And when his Direct Sign came out, people were running Magical Hats in the build. I think it's no longer like a staple no more because yeah. Um, I want to give it honorable mention to magical hats. I do have magical hats. I still have my my binder as an honorable mention. To go back and think about it and look back. So yeah, those like the honorable mentions. Cards I used to run. This is my extra. I used to have I say I have another Harpie deck. So this is not my competitive or nothing like that. And the other ones are not really competitive either. Because I'm running cards like Mirror Wall and like all my cards, the decks. So yeah. Just a little bit of information about this is that like I said, this was supposed to be a throwback to the 2009, 2010. Around the time when the Arsenal first came out, and then there was the Mist Valleys and such, and yeah. And so I wanted to rebuild it. My old deck from that time. I think it was like 2011 or 2010 when I made my deck profile. My first deck profile. I forgot to check before. And that deck profile is very outdated. The camera is out, terrible, bad quality. You can still look it up. I still kept it on my channel as a throwback. But yeah, so yeah, this is supposed to be a throwback to that time. Updated with a new card like Harpie Avian, Chandler, Dancer. There's no Oracle, but the Harpist, and then like the new card like Super Slash. And yeah. I wish I could get into the combos, but right now I'm really running out of time, and the few combos, mostly my main deck was just to focus was to return cards from your field to your hand. With Divine Wind and the few cards you can return to your hand, like at the time was like cards like Historic Party, Mirror Wall, where like two cards are my main cards are over the focus return back to my hand. Mirror Wall, so I can reset it and don't have to pay life points. Do have to pay life points at least once, probably. Most chances are, because it would be my turn and Falcon to return it back to my hand. But then Falcon return it to the hand, then my chances are my opponent wants to attack or go back to normal. But yeah, Historic Party was the main card I would return, because Historic Party could swarm the field back with Historic Harpie ladies. I mean, and yeah, I wish I could, like I said, more detail, but I don't want this video to go too long. But yeah. And just one more thing before I go. Like I said, I think I already mentioned this or not. I made a My Valentine video, My Valentine AMV. The reason I made that AMV was to go along with this deck, because My Valentine was the reason why I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! I watched the anime as a kid, saw My Valentine, had a crush on her. So yeah, you could say she's my first waifu. I know that Grinch and such, but yeah. Sorry, but that, so my first crush ever was on a fictional character, which was like I said. So cause that I wanted to make the AMV, and I wanted to throw back my old deck build with the new cards. So just this, and the other videos are gonna be linked in the description, also in the corner. Yeah, and you don't need to check out the AMV if you don't want to. It's just up there. It's a slow space AMV. And so it's like more, it's like a slow space romantic AMV with the song called First Love, by Utada Ikaru, by English version, or English cover, English version, whatever. And you can check the AMV out if you want to or not. It's up to you. And that should be up live as around the same time as this video. And yeah, so that's it. So thank you for watching, and I know this is a very long video, but if you can bear with me and my terrible speech or grammar or whatever and such, I do appreciate it. And yeah, so till next time, bye.